Hello there, I'm Ailsa Waters and I'm going to talk to you today about BTEC Business and what it's like to study here at Godalming College. So we have two courses available, two different types of BTEC, and we're going to think about what those offer and where they might lead you. The BTEC that we take is the new BTEC, so that will be about 50% is coursework, internally assessed, and the remainder is externally assessed by the exam board. The two options that we offer, we have the extended certificate, which is equivalent to 1 A-level, and a diploma, which is equivalent to 2 A-levels. And for every course that you take at Godalming, it's 4.5 hours a week, so you can mix and match your BTEC with your A-levels, and that's absolutely fine. So what sort of skills do you need? Well, it's a very much a live subject business, so you do need to be interested in current affairs, watch the news, and have a really positive approach to what we're learning. Without doubt, if you've got good English and math skills and good IT skills, that is going to make your life much easier. We have written coursework, we have a finance exam. You don't have to be a top mathematician to manage perfectly well. It's more about the understanding than the carrying out of the maths, but you do certainly have to be prepared and reasonably numerate and literate so that you can enjoy the course. In the first year, of the extended certificate, the entire extended certificate course, or in the first year of the diploma, we look at these 4 units. So the first one, Unit 1, we start with innovation and enterprise, and we're going to investigate, we'll carry out a research project into Dyson, and we'll look at enterprise, the starting up of new entrepreneurs, people who start new businesses, and we'll look at innovation, the risk and reward of innovation, and how that worked out for Dyson. Following that, we will be looking at business ownership and organisational structures and the different structures and legal ownership that businesses choose so that they can best meet their aims and objectives. And we're going to pick 2 quite different organisations for this, a small charity and a larger estate agent. So there's a compare and contrast of different organisations there. And then finally, in the competitive environment, we're going to be looking at British Airways and the challenges that they face from the outside world. So the internal environment of their staffing, of their corporate social responsibility, of their ethics, all of that is under their control, but the external environment is going to certainly be presenting more challenges than ever, and that will be a very interesting project researching what's going to be going on with British Airways over the coming year. In Unit 2, we look at marketing and how to write a marketing strategy. And we start with the principles of marketing, because marketing is not just about advertising and promotion. There is so much more than that in coming up with the right products at the right place in the right way to the right price, so much more. And we're going to be investigating the principles of marketing. We're going to look at how market research influences the choices that organisations make. And finally, we will undertake a pre-release case study so that we can produce a marketing campaign for a small business. And we've had some very interesting topics from the exam board in the past. We've looked at the record industry, vinyls and the resurgence of vinyls and how a small company might market themselves there. We have looked at pop-up cinemas and investigated all the things that pop-up cinemas could do to make themselves more exciting and interesting. So if you are creative, this is a very good project for you. For those mathematicians and for all students, very essential, we are looking at personal and business finance. And the personal finance, we'll be investigating types of accounts for people of all ages, borrowing and saving, the cost of borrowing, the types of borrowing that one might undertake, individuals might undertake, and all the potential sources for saving and investment and the risk and reward that goes with those, and financial products that are available and sources of advice where you might find information to help you make good informed choices. So really, really good for students and people starting out on their life. The business finance section, which is 2/3 of this exam, will be looking at sources of finance available to businesses, tools that they might use such as cash flow forecasts and break even, so that they can start to predict and assist with either starting new businesses or launching new products. Undertaking ratio analysis by looking at final accounts, undertaking ratio analysis so that students can start to compare and contrast businesses, looking at how successful businesses are year on year, or looking at how successful similar businesses are to each other, comparing them to each other. And finally, in Unit 8, Recruitment and Selection, we'll be looking at essentially a start at human resources with an introduction to workforce planning. We'll be focusing mainly on recruitment and selection and experiencing this from both sides of the table. So looking at what it's like for an employer, the decisions that they have to make and how they might structure their recruitment, how they might structure their interviews. And also, as an employee, you will be going through a practice interview, and it's really, really good for students to have a crack at this from both sides of the table. Certainly useful when they leave college and they have to go through the interview process themselves. In addition, if you are taking the diploma, which is the double A-level equivalent, then you will also take these 4 optional units. The managing event, you will manage and run. You will plan and run an event and evaluate that. Very useful if you're thinking of events management or potentially going into the hospitality industry. That will be interesting. The principles of management is an externally assessed set task, and we investigate management and leadership. We look at, with that, the principles of motivation and motivational theory. We're looking at total quality management and how to improve management and leadership. And we will be investigating a range of case studies, different businesses, all with different issues, and looking at very much starting to look at change management. When situations occur, how could you improve them? And students will be writing a proposal for how to improve a business that is presented to them in a case study. How to analyse the problems of that business and present proposals. Our next one, international business, we look at dealing with the businesses that deal with other countries as well as trading in the UK. And in the past, we've been very fortunate to have a link with a small organisation locally, a microbrewery, and to undertake a project with them for looking at how they might expand their markets abroad and sell their craft beers in America. So that's been very interesting, and hopefully we'll be able to continue that liaison next year. And then finally, in pitching for a new business, which is the final coursework unit, we look at writing a business plan. So students will come up with a micro business that interests them, that they're thinking that they could set up, and they will undertake all the investigation into the resources to write a business plan. So we look at financial resources, human resources, physical resources, marketing and promotion needed, and you create a business plan and then you pitch it to an investor. So really great business skills being undertaken. The learning of all of these modules, we do this through, it's a learning by doing type of course. So why is it a good course? Well, it's a great subject, live, ever-changing. We have really good classes where we engage with world events, we discuss the news, we look at the impact of this on the businesses that we're studying. We encourage students to debate, to get involved, to investigate all different types of organisations, and where possible we'll bring in external speakers and experts to enhance the delivery of what we're doing as well. We do get asked about the difference between A-level and BTEC. And BTEC is taught through a combination of internally marked coursework and external assessments. It's modular, with assessments at the end of and during each module. So because we take our externals, our examined ones, we tend to take those in the middle of the course. Then by the end of the course, you should have a clear understanding of whether you can meet your target, and you'll know what grades you need to achieve on your final pieces of coursework so that you meet your anticipated predicted grade at the end of the 2 years. A-level business, slightly different in that it's linear, and all of the assessment is in the 3 exams which take place at the end of year 2. What do our students do after college? Well, many go on to study business at university. We've had some very exciting and successful apprenticeships that students have taken, and others enter the world of work, hopefully with good preparation and understanding and some great skills so that they have a head start when they finally get started on their careers. Different careers that our students have gone into, well, across business studies generally, whether it's A-level or BTEC, there's a whole range. I mean, everything that you get involved in after work is likely to be a business or an organisation of some sort, and so plenty of opportunity here to branch out into all the different aspects of business that are there on offer. And finally, if you come to study with us, we are a great team. We're really successful, we get great results. All of our teachers teach on A-level and BTEC. We have plenty of resources, we have lots of enthusiasm, and we hope that we will see you in September to join us to take business studies and hopefully the BTEC course with us. We look forward to seeing you then. Thank you for listening.